Dear Explorer, welcome to this video. My name is Max, and today I'm going to take you through the processes of discovery and due diligence for tokens. Discovery is the process of finding a possible blockchain asset to invest in. It answers the question, which asset should I consider in the vast sea of possible blockchain assets? Then, due diligence is the process of taking that candidate asset through further analysis, answering questions such as who else bought it, how recently, and how big was that investment for them. Finally, equipped with the answers to those questions, you can make a more informed decision as to whether or not you should invest in that asset. As a reminder, this video does not constitute investment advice. It is merely an explanation on how to use Nansen to learn how to get your own investment advice from the actual blockchain data. Our starting point is the home dashboard, which is a best of our discovery dashboards. Here, we are looking to discover one of three things: contract for yield farming, an NFT collection, or in our case, a token that currently stands out and could be worth performing due diligence on. In the last 24 hours, the Synapse token has had a good inflow of 4.2 million USD into smart money entities. This token is the answer to the question, what are we going to discover today? Let's start our due diligence with token movements to see who exactly is behind this inflow. Right-click on the SYN token, select Token Movements, and input the dates of yesterday or the day before and today. In this first table, we can already see a couple of the smart money accounts that have had an increase in their balances in the dates we've selected. BlockTower Capital is the largest account. In the second table, we can filter the recipients of transactions by using the nerd emoji, which indicates smart money. We can also sort the transactions by most recent. Now, we can see the different transactions that determined inflows into smart money for Synapse in the last few days. In fact, we can see 2 transactions into BlockTower Capital, 2 into an account that is a proven smart NFT hodler, and a few into accounts that are proven smart liquidity providers. We have answered the questions, who has had the inflow of Synapse and how recently was the inflow. We can now analyze further by right-clicking these accounts and choosing Wallet Profiler. Remember, smart money is the collective name of entities representing investors that have a proven track record of success. They are always a good starting point of your discovery and due diligence processes. As a tip, by hovering over a link and casting a glance to the bottom left part of your screen, you can tell whether a generic label, such as Smart NFT Hodler, belongs to the same account or to different ones. We are now looking at the wallet profiler for BlockTower Capital. In this wallet of theirs, Synapse is the largest position at 18 million USD. This is a potentially positive signal, as it's safe to assume that they value the token. We now open the wallet profiler for token, which we'll check in a second. Instead, we continue with the wallet profiler of the smart liquidity provider. Synapse is their biggest position too. Also, in this case, we open their wallet profiler for token. The smart NFT hodler doesn't seem to have Synapse anymore. They might have moved it on or sold it already. Therefore, we don't have a direct link, but we can copy their wallet address and open wallet profiler for token manually from the left-hand navigation. As you can see, the diligence dashboards require inputs in order to be loaded. These inputs should be the outputs of the discoveries you have made on the discovery dashboards. Now we go back to the first wallet profiler for token we had opened. The wallet profiler for token for BlockTower shows that they have been holding Synapse for a while, for a total of 6.7 million units, whose value is about 18 million US dollars. Scrolling down, you can see the transaction history, which we can sort from most to least recent. Moving on to the smart liquidity provider, we can see that their purchase of Synapse is rather significant in the perspective of their history, which has seen some sell-offs too. Looking at the transactions, the history of this wallet and this token is pretty active, with 8 purchases that happened in the last 3 days. For the smart NFT hodler, instead, we have no time data, which usually means that there isn't a complete day worth of data. Looking at the transactions, we can see that they have bought from 3 sources and have sold it all in a matter of a few minutes. Another fundamental dashboard to check is Token God Mode, which we can open by going back to Home and Smart Money Token Inflows. While it loads, we can go back to the wallet profiler for token of BlockTower and see the actual transactions on Etherscan. We do the same for the smart liquidity provider. For the sake of time, we go after the largest transaction of the selected time period, but you could check them all. Here on Etherscan, we can see that this was a genuine purchase because there's the transaction action section showing that Ether and the stablecoin Fei have been used to acquire SYN. The same can be seen in the Etherscan page of the Block Tower Capital transaction. We can now move to Token God mode. The first tab tells us about Synapse and exchanges. Activity for both withdrawers and depositors is at a peak for the month. Let's have a look at the price action from the Trades tab. Price and volume have picked up recently. It's worth checking the price action more closely on a site such as CoinGecko. The major transaction of the overall Synapse inflow into smart money happened straight after the drop in price at around 7:30 of December 28, 2021. This was in fact the time of the major Block Tower Capital purchase, as shown in their wallet profiler for Token. Going back to Token God mode, let's move to the Hodlers tab. Here we see that the number of addresses holding the token has picked up again recently. On the left widget, we can see that most of the current hodlers have had the token for 2 to 3 months. Notable wallets is the final tab we can explore in Token God mode, specifically its top balances widget. The distribution of Synapse is rather fragmented, and Block Tower Capital are the top hodlers. Many projects have a whale owner or a treasury owning over 80% of the token supply, but this is clearly not the case here. Let's try to see the situation of the smart money hodlers of Synapse. Now, all the information we have gathered during our due diligence should allow you to answer a number of questions about Synapse. At the time of making the video, this would have put you in the position to decide whether or not to invest in the token. Would you like a recap? If yes, keep watching. Do your token discovery by using the widgets in the bottom right corner of the home screen. Look for a token that stands out. In our case, it was Synapse. Then, due diligence starts. Right-click on SYN, go to token movements for that token, see the last couple of days. Look at the transactions. Find the entities behind that significant inflow. Right-click on the entities and go to their wallet profiler. See if they are still holding on to the token and how much they have compared to other tokens. Right-click on SYN and go to the wallet profiler for token. See more precisely what they have done with the token before and their transaction history. From the single transactions, open the link to Etherscan. Now you can see that the entity has actually bought the token. It wasn't just a transfer. Finally, check Token God mode to get a more general overview of it. See how its total supply breaks down into entities. See how long owners of the token have held it for. Finally, check the high-level price action and decide whether to invest or not. Thank you for watching.